Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com. And I am very happy to be with you here tonight. We are going to do some fun things with a little blending brush action. I've got a very quick, simple, fun project to show you, and I am sharing this really fun stamp set bundle called Sending Love. And hello, Marlene. I think you are here with me. So let's see, I'm getting my computer going here. Make sure I'm in camera. This is my second stamping event today. I had my tea and crafts. We were at the tea room earlier, and I did a little quick Facebook Live just to say hello to everybody while I was there. Oh, I can see where, okay, this needs to come down a little bit. Yeah, this is why I like to be able to see this in not only where I'm filming with my camera, or with my phone, but I like to be able to see this all out here. So I've got some team members joining me. This is actually a project that I did on Saturday at my demonstrator training event. So I've been doing those with each new catalog, and it gives us the opportunity to play with a lot of new products. And of course, just stamp together, which is so much fun. I got to make sure. I think I better get a little bit of water on this guy real quick. Okay, so I have another couple of days maybe on this host code, and I'm going to give you a new one. So if you're needing to place an order, based on what you get inspired by tonight, you want to make that order pretty quick before I release another host code. And let's see. Oh yeah, everything's coming out really good. Okay. Make sure I'm in
Whoa.
camera. Not really. Okay, see, when I turn it on the computer, I have to make sure that I've cut out the vocals. Okay, so there's my host code. This is what I'm featuring tonight, and this is called Sending Love. I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it in the new mini catalog. Hey, Karen, thank you so much for being here. And hello, Kim. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Kathy, welcome, welcome. Do I have? Yes, I do have. So let me show you real quick. Sending Love, there's actually a couple of really cute samples in here. So this is one of our bundles. You know, when you go to the back of the catalog, you can see the bundles. They're in alphabetical order, which I'm so grateful for, because I just think in alphabetical. I think from doing so much admin work over the years. So this is a super, super cute idea right here. I love the little gingham mailbox. And then it tells you here, so here's the bundle. It's Sending Love, $54. Perfect order for celebration, because that means you get a free item, a free exclusive celebration item. Here's all the dies. And then if you want to see the stamp set, well, then we go to page 11. And I will say, I think you could do a lot with just the stamp set. I will always tell you guys. But you can also see where any place you have that kind of pale pink vanilla on these images, it means that there are dies that will cut those out. And, you know, one of the things I really like about the dies is I love, well, let me show you a little bit here. This one we featured a lot of dies, and this one we featured a lot of stamping. I love this one that has the little, the wood grain little frame. And I do love this mailbox. Now, one of the people at our event said, would it be cute to put somebody's name on there? Just handwrite their name. Wouldn't that be cute? And I do love these little things. Now, you could just put a little cash in there, which would also be a really cute way to do this. Now, we used, this, oh, you know what? I forgot to bring my, I needed one more element. Okay, I'm talking out loud, or thinking out loud, I should say. Hi, Yolanda, I'm glad you're here with us. So there's two different greenery dyes, grass dyes, and I forgot one of them that I'm going to use tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and get my little mini machine going. So just a little intro to this bundle. I mean, mailbox, this is what we do. We send cards. How could we not get this bundle? So let me show you a few things here. It has well, I couldn't get them all on one thing, on one sheet. So there's your mailbox that you can, fold up. It even has a little hinge there. So, or a little hole there. You can make the little flag. You can make it go back and forth. This is, of course, your little envelope. And then this one will cut out the whole, like the stamped image. So if I had wanted to take this stamped image, I could have popped it out, okay? So that's another element. Now, this is your little, this is your letters. I like the fact that you have quite a few hearts. This is your little bird. And this here, I like this little bow. So what I did here for this little package, well, it's like a little package here. So what I did was I put adhesive sheet on the back of this. To me, this is so fine that I do not want to be messing with liquid glue on something like that. That's too, it's just super fine. Okay, so we are going to stamp a super simple card tonight, and we are going to be using the book binding fun fold. Some people call it a book. Some people call it book binding or book bind. Lots of different renditions of the name. But we're going to do a little bit of blending brush and just have fun. Now, at my event, I did this in Real Red. But I had this card base already cut and scored here, and I thought I'm just going to use Poppy Parade because our reds work together really, really well. Now for this book binding fun fold, this is at 5.5 and this is at 6 3/4, because what I want to do is I want to create this little book fold, and to do this, I don't have any of my supplies over here. We want this to fold out like this. Because of that, I'm spitting while I'm talking. Because of that, I'm going to put really strong adhesive in here. And although our seal adhesive is strong, I always want to just err on the side of caution with this because this is going to have a little hinge effect, and I want to make sure that this really, really stays shut. So let me grab, yes, I'm going to use this adhesive to close shut my book binding fun fold. So I hope you guys are having fun with getting a little bit of time for some stamping in. We're having really cold weather here in San Antonio. Cold for us. We're not used to having days upon days where the temperatures maybe don't even rise above freezing, or certainly stay near that for most of the day. So we are definitely feeling it. I host, hey Pam, I'm glad you're here. I host some kit events, and I do the tea room every month. And usually on a Thursday and a Saturday. She's only open during the day. And so I do Saturday for the people who can't, be there during the week. But Becky's one of my regulars, and she's so cute because she comes from work. And she takes her lunch break and just takes a little extra time to get back to the office. And, it works. A little bit of crafty time in the middle of your week. Now this, I love, love, love this stuff. When you buy this, it's 3 colors. Let me grab a little bit for you so you can see. this is the textured shimmer paper, and it's been around for probably a good year, maybe a year and a half. I love this stuff. So you get, I think it's 2 sheets of the shaded spruce, 2 sheets of the white, and 2 sheets of the balmy blue. I love it. It has just that little bit of shimmer and just that little bit of texture, and I really, really love it. So yeah, Karen, you'd love freezing temperatures here. Yeah, it's probably way below for you. I don't know. I think most of the U.S. is experiencing, you know, some pretty strong cold. Now, I know I'm going to have to get my little mini machine over here. And I will say, you know, I'm a strong user of seal. But when you have this really strong texture, I typically am going to use the green glue. You know, green glue, I used to use it a lot more than I do now. And I know you have to use it in small amounts, but even with that, sometimes it just squidges where I don't want it to. And I really, really love the seal. I was a big snail user. I think our seal is, you know, superior, and I really, really love it. So took me a little bit of time. You know, there's a little bit of a learning curve with it, but, you know, that's just the way that goes. Okay, now, let me see. I'm going to grab, we're going to make a cloud right here. So, let's see. Where's my stuff? Here we go. I was like eating dinner until right before I was coming on. I cooked fish for my hubs tonight. So we had mahi-mahi. We had honey and ginger, Asian mahi-mahi. It turned out really nice. Okay, and then what I'm going to need, this we're going to use as a little bit of a, we're going to use that as a little, what's what I'm looking for, stencil. We're going to do the little bird here, and we're going to do a little love for me to use. So I think this would work great as a little Valentine. You could put Happy Valentine's Day on the inside. Hi, Crystal. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Estella. I was just talking about our tea event, that you were there. So let me grab a couple of blocks. Let's see what I need. I dithered about whether I was going to stamp with you tonight or whether I was going to do a showcase with you tonight, because I was really just kind of flying like crazy. And I just decided I would do a little stamping with you tonight. So, very off the cuff. Okay, so we're going to do the stamping after we do the blending brush. So, whenever I'm doing the blending brush, I like to do the stamping afterwards, because I feel like that if you do the blending brush on top of your stamping, it can kind of dim the ink a little bit. So I'm going to use Pool Party. Pool Party and Balmy Blue are kind of my go-tos for creating a sky. And I'm just going to use this as a little, just as a little template, a little stencil. And just kind of go around here. And I'm not really, you know, you can see where I'm not really too fussed about getting it just perfect, because I like that look. I don't want it to be too perfect. Now, you might like it to be more perfect than me, but I think that, you know, it's just kind of a cute look. So now I've got that as a nice strong cloud there. I think I'm going to do a little bit more here, like so. And just create some sky with some cloud cover. Hopefully this is going to look better when I'm done. Oh yeah, it's coming along now. And we'll get a little bit more here. And again, you know, if you want a lighter colored sky, you can do less. This almost looks like the moon coming behind there. And I'm going to do a little bit more here, like so. And I think that's probably enough. I have a little bit of some a little bit of, what's what I'm looking for, a little bit of almost like a smudge there, but I think I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to bring this all the way down a little bit more. That kind of blends that out a little bit better. Okay, so my imperfect sky. But you know, this is a handmade card and I was just not going to fuss about it. Now that, I've got a little bit of ink there and I'm using a lot of basic white cardstock and I don't want it picking that up. So I'm just going to clear that up and throw away my little cloud. Now, I am going to do a little bit of stamping before I attach this. So to me, I want to do the stamping before I attach it here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some hearts, kind of falling from the sky, as it were. And I'm actually using cherry cobbler cardstock. I'm using cherry cobbler ink. And I'm just going to have these coming out of the sky, like so. And then I am going to color these in with a lighter color. So this is cherry cobbler, which is quite deep and dark. But you see how that's going to give a nice pop of color there once I put it on my cherry cobbler. And I'm actually going to use this is Poppy Parade, this is cherry cobbler. Hey Tasha, I'm glad you're here. So I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring in. And I very purposely have mixed my reds. I really like mixing our reds. They actually all work really well together. And so this gives me a little bit of a contrast, or maybe not yeah, it is a contrast. It's a deeper red for my outline and a lighter red for the inside here. You know, this is Poppy Parade, and I will tell you that I was using that Be Mine paper, and I kept putting Poppy Parade with it, and I finally looked at the colors on it and said, oh yeah, it's Sweet Sorbet. But you know, Sweet Sorbet is like a softer version of Poppy Parade. I adore Poppy Parade. I was so thrilled when it came back the last time we had a color refresh. So that's coming along ever so nicely. Now I'm going to take my little bird and I'm going to ink him up. And I will say sometimes on these smaller stamps, if you do this, you just pick up a lot of ink that you don't mean to. And so I find a lot of times just tapping it like this, and I think I probably re-inked that pad after my event, so I probably have a lot of ink in there. Let's see how this is going to go. Put my little bird right there. Oh, that has a lot of ink. Ay, ay, ay. Wonder what we can do to, you know what? Those are his legs. And I don't want it to, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We might do him on a piece of scrap and punch him out because there is a die, and see if that will not. See, when you just touch it a little bit lighter, I think it was not just the fact that my ink pad had just been re-inked, but I think it's also a little bit of user error. Stamp straight down and lift up. Now, this one is definitely better. This one is probably my favorite. I've got a little bit of the wing that didn't quite come out, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to also put my words on, and I need to see that these are not going to mess up on me. When I come home from events like I did, hey, Mary, I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Gwen. Good to see you. When I come home from an event, you know, where we'd had a lot of people stamping all day, I typically re-ink all my pads. And then I forget that, you know, sometimes you need to stamp with them once or twice before you start committing, because sometimes there's a lot of ink on there. Oh, no, that's coming out very nicely. Okay, so a little love from me to you, and I've got my heart. So this could be for any time of year, and I like that because I can use this for Valentine's, or I can just send this any time of year because love is always in season. Hey, Catherine. Welcome, welcome from Tennessee. Jacksboro. You know what? Is that where they had a recent... There's a couple in our church that are from Tennessee. And I want to say that Jacksboro is... I think they had a recent little bit of a weather event. Okay, now I think I'm probably a little bit... I should have lined it up here, and I didn't. So, c'est la vie. Okay, so now we are going to do this, and then we're going to get out our little mini machine, and we're going to make a little bit of grass, and I'm going to also cut out that that bird, because I don't, I don't like that. That does not look nice right there. And there's not really a way to rectify that, so I think we're going to punch him out with the dies. And I forgot to run my grass ahead of time. So there's my grass and there's my little bird. So you see, I was going to have to get it out anyway. And I just personally, I do a lot of die cutting. I don't typically like to die cut on camera. That's just me, because I figure there's lots of other things to see that would be more exciting. Okay, I think I'm actually going to cut out 2 of these. So let's do that. And I think I probably will do just a little tiny mini showcase for you when I'm done, because, yeah, we're running good on time. So I'm just, for those of y'all who are newer here, I'm not typically doing long videos. Sometimes we'll go an hour, but that's only when I'm making like 3 projects or doing a really long, like a swap parade or showcase. But I have a pretty short attention span, and I just assume other people do too. So I actually kind of get tired of hearing myself, and I figure you do too, and you have other things to do. So I'm just, personally, I don't watch long videos, so I just don't produce long videos. And I think that's I think we kind of tend to produce what we like. So my videos tend to be on the shorter side. And yep, that's going to go. Very haphazard putting the plates in. But our little mini machine, I think it's pretty forgiving. So I'm actually going to run 2 of these. And this is, of course, I took my pick tool with me to my event today. I think I have 3. Can't find a 1. Oh yeah, here we go. I saw where somebody I know does, because we have all these different little heads that you can swap out on your pick tool. She just gets a new pick tool for each one because she just won't have to mess with swapping them out. And I totally get that. When I'm ready to use something, I just want to pick it up and use it. So I totally get that. I thought that was actually pretty smart. But then, I don't have a small space, and but I craft in several different places around my house. So, yeah, I end up with stuff in various places. And my studio is upstairs, and but I often end up spending a little bit of time downstairs on my computer doing like tutorials and stuff. So I've got a little magnet over here so I can keep my die handy. Definitely don't want to lose that, but I don't really want to put it away right now either. Okay, here we go. One more. I'm going to, actually, that little bird right there looks really good. He's a little pale, but I think it's going to work. So let's just cut him out and see if that will cover up my boo-boo. He's a little tiny guy. So let's see, can I get him through there without shifting? I think. Haha. Yes, it's going to go. You see how bad I have my plates loaded in here? I don't think it's going to go. I think I'm going to have to start back. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty forgiving, but yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad form there. Okay, so let's pull this out here, this in here, and then let's line him back up. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's put him through our little birdie. Let's see. Am I going to shift him? No. Haha. Is he going to go through for me? Yes. Okay. There we go. Now let's see if he will cover up my little boo-boo. I think he will. Oh yeah, look how nicely he's come out. Oh, I love it. Okay, so there's Mini Machine. It is Mini Cut and Emboss, the size of the small one's even smaller than a toaster, so I do like that small size. Okay, so now you see where my bird is all, and I'm not even going to pop him up on dimensionals because I'm trying to cover the one where I splodged the ink. So, and I also don't want to splodge my adhesive, so I'm actually just going to pull a mini glue dot from here. I could probably just do it this way easier. And so he's going to be flat. And then I'm going to color him with dark lemon lolly. And that is going to go like so. Now that definitely looks a whole lot better than he did before. Now, one of the things I do like to do on these, well, I'm using Dark Daffodil Delight. I meant to use Lemon Lolly, but you know, he's a little yellow bird. One of the things that I do like to make sure is before you go in and start coloring, you want to make sure with your blends that this black ink has dried first. Now, it was well dry because I had all kinds of things to do. Now, let's do a little bit of grassy action here. And I think I'm going to bring that all the way across. And this just has, you see how it's textured like that? Really? Hey, Kathy. Oh my gosh, welcome, welcome. So good to see you here. Kathy was my college roommate. Welcome, welcome. So Linda, you like this bookbinding card? I do too. I love this fun fold. I think it's really clever. And it doesn't use anything extra. You know, you don't have to use extra cardstock for it. You don't have to do anything special. So I like that it's just super quick and easy and nothing. It looks fancy, or it looks maybe kind of interesting, and I don't like that, but super easy to do. Now this one I think I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. And you know, when you see these little packages like this, these are left over from a paper pumpkin kit. So we are in the new paper pumpkin, what's the word I'm looking for? The new paper pumpkin registration. So if you are not a paper pumpkin subscriber, you want to get on the bandwagon and get this super cute crafty kit in your mailbox every month. It has everything you need for a set of projects. You get a stamp set every month. I mean, it's awesome. I think, you know, they've changed the price a couple of times and I tend to not remember numbers well, but I'm pretty sure it's $23.50 plus tax. And that includes your shipping. It's a great deal. And there's always a video that goes with it, and there's paper instructions as well. So I'm popping that one up, leaving this one flat just for a little bit of lift and a little bit of texture there and variation. Now, I was supposed to, before I glued this down, I was supposed to put some twine here, but I think what I'm going to do instead, since I didn't do that, I'm going to grab, this is a set of 3 twines in the new holiday catalog, and I'm going to grab this lemon lolly because I really wanted to kind of capitalize on that yellow, and I made him a little bit dark. So I think what I'm going to do is 2 things. Let's grab a lifter. So the color lifter will work on any color, and it does exactly that. It just lifts color. Now, what it will not do is if you colored outside the lines, it will not remove ink, where you've colored. So, don't feel like that, if you got red ink outside the line, that this is going to take care of that. It's not. It effectively just kind of bleaches out your color a little bit, and it does have to dry a little bit. So, yes, Crystal's saying, yeah, use the color lifter. So I think that's going to lift it a little bit. It has to dry. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, thank you for sharing, Corinne. I appreciate that so much. So let's just wind this around a couple of times. And then I'm going to get almost the same effect. I wanted to put it right down here, and I forgot before I glued it down. So, this is just what we do. When we don't, we don't do it the way we intended, well, we just kind of use as a little creative opportunity and do it a little bit different. So now that was not a creative opportunity. When I got too much ink on his feet, there was no way to really fix that, and it was just going to be unsightly. Now, when I do this, I typically like to put a little knot there, because then I can come back here and I can put my bow, and I don't have to worry about the tension. So yes, Crystal, a happy little mistake. I do like that. So this is really, this is almost a stamp, ink, and paper card, except I did use the die here. Now you could, like I said, you could use this stamp set without the dies. Oh, I thought there was a grass. No, the grass is only here. I think there's another stamp set. I was using the grass a lot. But, a lot of you have a stamp set that's going to give you grass. You could even just kind of draw your green, you could draw your little green lines there to make some grass. Now I'm going to shift this down a little bit. There we go. And then the other thing that I sometimes like to do when I have a bow like this is I don't want it to shift once I get it where I want it. So I am going to just grab a mini glue dot here and pop this right underneath here where the kind of the base of my bow is, and then just press that in. And that way it's going to stay where I want it to stay. You can even use a second mini glue dot if you want to. Hey, Char, welcome from cold Wisconsin. Woo, I bet it is cold where you are. My. Now, I will tell you, we're here in central South Texas, we think it's super cold when it's in the 30s. And for us it is, because, it's what you get used to. But Stampin' Up! Gave us this beautiful wool sweater on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip to Norway earlier this year. And it's super heavy wool. I mean, this is a beautiful company from 1927. But it's very heavy. And yeah, I've been wearing it off and on since Thanksgiving, because I've just become a total wuss with the cold. Now, what did I do? Oh, my lands. I just picked, I somehow smudged there. I don't know how I did it. Okay, I'm going to clean my fingers first. I'm going to give you another little trick. This is the thing. When you're working with white cardstock, you have to be so careful when you're starting to stamp with black ink. And that's why I typically keep these little alcohol pads here. But, of course, I didn't use the alcohol pad after I had stamped. So let me get my little eraser. Now this works best on white cardstock. This is actually, I just get these from Amazon. They're called sand erasers. And it will effectively, when you were a kid and you would erase and erase until you started lifting the paper? It kind of lifts like a little thin layer of the paper, which will take that black smudge right off. And like I said, it only works with our white because our colored cardstock is colored all the way through. We don't have a white core on our cardstock. So, but I do think these are very handy for those times when you do something like that. Now that color lifter really lifted my bird, so he's much softer, which is what I was wanting, and I'm just going to bring that there. Now, a little love from me to you, and I'm going to bring those hearts on the inside as well. And now I could put this on there, a little note to say, I miss you. I thought this is a great one. My older grandkids live out of state, so this would be a great card to send to them. But I will say we were doing the new kits today. Well, we were doing various kits today at my kit event at the tea room. And the little panda friends, oh my gosh, they are stinking adorable. And there are, you can put the pandas on the way you want. They recommend you do them in a certain way. But my 3 older grandkids, oh my gosh, I've already got plans for putting those 3 little pandas on a card and putting their names on the bellies of each one. I think it's going to be so cute. So again, I'm just using Cherry Cobbler ink for the stamping and light Poppy Parade to fill in the hearts. And this just carries, that love. It carries those hearts in just a little bit farther. And I think particularly when you have a white inside, you need a little something there. And I know I'm probably not coloring great in the lines because I'm standing up and I'm farther away than I typically am when I'm coloring. Okay, that is it. Super quick and easy card. Mostly stamping. We made a little cloud cover with our sky. We made a little bird and a little love from me to you. Super simple stamping. Now these are the other cards that we did at my event from the same stamp set, or actually using the bundle. Let me see if I have my original one handy. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see the differences I did. So you see, my intention was to put this over here. So let me show you the differences because I do like to. Thank you for sharing, Yolanda. I appreciate that. So you see the little differences. So I did a lot more ink here. Got really heavy with the ink. Probably, again, because I just re-inked my pad. Where it's a lot paler here. Let me pull this out of the plastic so it's easier to see. My twine's a little clunky here because I meant to do it this way. But if you do this, you have to do it before you stick down the little book binding, So you have to stick this down or put this on before you stick it down because you wouldn't really want it. I don't think you'd want it wrapping around there. So I did add a second piece of grass on this one. And you can see the difference because this is the lemon lolly and this is the daffodil. So you can definitely see the difference. I think I stamped the hearts in the same color. I did add a couple of these are the new foil, iridescent foil gems, which I really like. They add just a little bit of shine. But I honestly think even without, because it has quite a bit of texture, that it just works. So I think I probably like my original more. But yeah, you just kind of make it work and do what you got to do to hide your errors. So Mary, I'm glad you like my card. Just, I really love I love working with stamps. The dies are fun, but I love working with stamps. And I'm not, personally, I don't like to do a lot of coloring, but yeah, just coloring these little hearts is just enough. So that is it for tonight. Remember, I've got a host code here. If you order this bundle, it is, let me grab an item number for you. It is number 162880. It's $54. So that means you get a free celebration item with that order. And there's some great ones to choose from. So that is it. I will be back here with you next week on Thursday. Actually, I think I'll be here before then. But make sure you're on my email list to find out about my next broadcast. I will be here next week for my regular Thursday broadcast, but I think it's Tuesday I'm going live with some other projects. So stay tuned. Make sure you're on my email list so you have all the updates. And take care, stay warm, and God bless.